On the list of Maine writers who have achieved both critical and commercial success, Richard Russo would rank high. He won a Pulitzer Prize for his novel Empire Falls, which was later made into an HBO miniseries, and also wrote the novel Nobody's Fool, which was made into a movie starring Paul Newman and Bruce Willis.
His latest work is a collection of essays called Life and Art. And we sat down to talk about it at Print, a bookstore in Portland, not far from where Russo lives.
Well, this is, by my count, and I may be wrong, your 15th book?
Really?
You didn't know?
I didn't count before I came in.
You don't have a big poster at home with boxes that you check?
No. It has been, it explains my grizzled appearance, though, doesn't it? All those books.
Well, what I was sort of getting at is I know that from the time you were young when you realized you wanted to be a writer, but you thought from the circumstances that you grew up in, it was most likely an impossible dream. Mm-hmm. So how does it feel when you continue to write books, get them published? What's it like for you now when you send a new book out into the world?
One of the things I would like to do is dispel for other writers out there who might come from backgrounds like mine. I would like to dispel the notion that you need to have a pedigree of some sort, that you had to have a novelist father or mother, that you had to graduate from Yale. A pedigree might be helpful, but it's absolutely not necessary, and I'm living proof.
When you were late teens, early 20s, you were not off working at some writing seminar. You were working on a road construction crew. Tough physical labor.
Right. And I got many of my first lessons in writing from that life, because my father was a laborer. He worked with his hands. All those years when I went back to work road construction with him, that's what he was doing. And my father was just a natural storyteller. I have another word for it, but we'll go with storyteller for here.
It's a two-word term, and the second one is artist?
Yeah. So on the way home, he would tell a story to a bunch of other guys like him sitting in some working man's bar, and then the bar after that, and the bar after that. And then you go to the next bar, and he would tell the story again, but it would be a little different, because he remembered where he got the laugh in the last place, and the thing that didn't go over quite so well. And so the next time he was revising. So I think I was, despite the fact that I didn't want to be a writer until much later, I was learning what it meant to be one on a road construction crew in upstate New York.
You say that your mom was pretty much an optimist, and your dad was a pessimist who thought that everything was kind of rigged against his type and your type in this world.
Right.
Where do you come down?
Somewhere in the middle, as you would expect. Because so much of, I live an absolutely blessed life. And so many of those blessings go back to two people who could not have been more temperamentally different than my father and my mother. But that too was a gift, because what they were really talking about was America. And the fact that they could never resolve their dispute about what America was fundamentally was a dispute that I would never, still haven't, and never will, I think, get to the bottom of. But that's what any artist, I think, is looking for, is that subject matter that you will never get to the bottom of. Because if you get to the bottom of it, you're done. You might as well hang it up.
You can now write whatever you want. What's ahead of you? What do you still want to do that you haven't done?
I'm just thinking more in terms of time than anything else. I will turn 76 this summer. I don't know how many more years of this will be granted me. I mean, writing isn't even what I think anymore. It's how I think. So if I weren't writing, I'm not sure I would even be thinking. And in that scenario, it's best to keep going.
He is a wonderfully engaging guy who is very serious about his work, but as you can see, has a terrific sense of humor about the absurdities of the world.
I love it. And who would have thought learning about writing on a construction site?
The storytelling that you learn about there, it can't be beat. Again, the name of Richard Russo's new book is Life and Art.